Hi love, welcome back. In today's class we are making this cutoff size shorts. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always stopping by. Let's get right into class. I'm going to be using this here yarn, stitch markers, 3 and 4 millimeter hook, and yeah, this is my 4 millimeter hook and my scissors and your tape measure. To begin with, you are going to measure your hip measurement. So let's say your hip is 40, so you're going to make chains long enough for your hip measurement. After you've gotten your hip measurement, you are going to make a slip knot. And this is how I make my slip knot. Whichever way you make yours is valid. And I'm going to start working with a 4 millimeter hook. So I'm going to make chains long enough to go around my hip. So I'm going to chain 166. So make a foundation chain. Mine is 166, so go ahead and make yours, and I'll meet you when you're done making your foundation chains. This is my foundation chains of 166, and it measures 19, let's say 20 inches when not stretched, but when you stretch it, it can go to 22, which in total is 44 inches. So you are going to turn this carefully, make sure it's not round, and you are going to slip stitch it together so you would be working in rounds. So to begin row 1, you have to chain 3 and make a double crochet in the stitches. Make 1 double crochet in each stitch, and this is how we make double crochet. So you're going to go ahead and double crochet in each stitches until the end of the row. So at the end of the row, you should have 166 double crochets, or the total of numbers you had. So at the end, you are going to slip stitch in the 3rd chain. And this is it for row 1. Before we continue with row 2, we are going to put stitch markers at some point and make some calculations before we start with row 2. So however chains you did, your beginning chains, you are going to subtract 38, which is 19 plus 19. If you are doing for a small, consider subtracting 36. And now divide the rest of the row by 2. That is my 64 and 19. I have secured my 19 rows, and this is a stitch marker, the 19, and this is the other side 19, and 64 for front and 64 back. On the sides, it's advisable to make 19 or 18 rows. Leave 19 or 18 rows, but when you get to the body of the work, when you divide your work, all should come to the body of the work, that is the front and the back. So now to begin row 2, we are going to chain 3, and we make double crochets in each stitches, each on top of double crochets. So make double crochets until you get to the stitch marker. I'm at the stitch marker, and that's the beginning point of the size of your shorts. So you're going to chain 3, 1, skip 3, and make a single crochet in the 4th chain, chain 8, 3, 4, skip 5, and make your single crochet in the 6th chain, chain 8 again, skip 5, and make a single crochet in the 6th chain, chain 3, skip 3, and make a double crochet in the 4th stitch. Skip 3 and make a double crochet in the 4th stitch. So now take off your stitch marker and keep making double crochets until you get to the next stitch marker. At this point, my love, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please show us some love and subscribe to the channel. We upload videos every Saturday. So I'm at the other stitch marker. You're going to chain 3 just as you did for the other side. Skip 3 and make your single crochet in the 4th chain, chain 8, skip 5, and make your single crochet in the 6th chain, chain 8 again, skip 5, make your single crochet in the 6th stitch, chain 3, and skip 3 and make your single crochet, and make your double crochet in the 4th chain, and that double crochet counts as your first double crochet. Skip 3 and make your double crochet in the 4th chain. So you keep making your double crochets until the end of the row, and when you get to the end, you make your slip stitch. So that's the end of row 2. So for row 3, you're going to chain 3, turn over your work because we want the seam line to be straight, and make your first double crochet in the 1st stitch, and keep making your double crochets until you are at the side. And when you get to the side, make chain 8, make a single crochet in the 8th chain, skip the 3 chain, make a single crochet in the 8th chain, chain 8 again, make a single crochet in the 8th chain, chain 8 again, and make a double crochet on top of the double crochet space, and keep double crocheting until you get to the other side of your shorts. So I'm at the other side of the shorts, and you're going to chain 8, skip your 3 chains and make a single crochet in the 8th chain, chain 8 again, make a single crochet in your 8th chain, chain 8 again, and make a double crochet in the first double crochet space, and keep double crocheting until the end, and you're going to slip stitch. So I'm at the end, you slip stitch, chain 3, so for row 4, chain 3, turn your work and make double crochets until you are at the side of the work. So I'm at the side of the work and we are going to chain 3, make a single crochet in the chain 8 space, chain 8, make a single crochet in the 8 space, chain 8 again, make a single crochet in the 8 space, chain 3, and make a double crochet in the double crochet space. So this is pretty much the pattern. You are going to be alternating between row 3 and row 4. That is the beginning of the chain 3 and the beginning of the chain 8 space. So this is how you're going to be alternating until you have 19 rows. So chain 8, make a single crochet in the 8 chain, chain 8 again, make a single crochet in the 8 chain, chain 3, and make your double crochet, and make your double crochet, and at the end you're going to slip stitch. And don't forget to always chain 3 and turn over. Anytime you slip stitch, you chain 3 and turn your work, so your seam line will be straight. So you are going to keep alternating this until you have 18 rows if you are doing for a medium, 17 rows if you are doing for a small, 19 rows if you are doing for a large, and I'll meet you. So I'm going to go ahead and make my 19 row, which I'm doing for a large, and I'll meet you when I'm done with my 19 rows. So here is my 19 rows, and this is how the work is looking. So now we are going to create our leg hole, and yes, you divide the work into 2, so you put the stitch marker at the exact point at the front and chain 19. After your 19 chains, you are going to slip stitch inside where the stitch marker is, so you would have an equal size. So this is your leg hole. So to begin, on the leg row, chain 3, row 1, chain 3, make your double crochets until you get to the size of your shorts. So at the size of your short, pretty much you are going to repeat the same thing that you've been doing. So if you ended at the chain 3 space, know that you are going to start working your 888. If you ended at 888 chains, know that you are going to work your 3883. So go ahead and do this and work your double crochets up until you get to the beginning of the chain space. So I'm at the beginning of the chain space and we made 19 chains. So you are going to go in each stitch with a chain until the end of the row. So at the end of the row, you should have 19 chains. So at the end you are going to slip stitch, chain 3, and just as you were doing for the body of the shorts, you are going to chain 3 and turn over your work and work your double crochets across. When you get to the size of the leg, you would repeat and go ahead and go make this 6 times, and I'll meet you when I'm done with the leg. I went ahead and added 1 row, making it 7, and I think this is pretty much okay. I don't want to do anything to the leg. I want to keep it like this, but you can design it if you want. So now you attach your yarn. I prefer to attach it this time at the back of the work, and just as you did for the front part, you are going to repeat the same thing for just as you did for the other leg. Sorry, you are going to repeat the same exact thing for this leg and go ahead and make your 7 rows. So you're going to make double crochets across, and when you get to the bottom of the work, you're going to work your 19 double crochets across, and you do this until you have 19 rows and you are done with the leg. And now let's start with the waist. So with the waist, I'm running out of yarn, so I would show you how to quickly do the waist. You chain 3, attach your yarn, chain 3. We are going to be working front post and back post double crochet, and this is how I make front post double crochet. So you have to just watch the video carefully because sometimes I'm not good at explaining. So yeah. So you're going to go ahead doing this, go around, and when you get to the end, the beginning of your work, as you are always doing, you slip stitch and chain 3, but this is the only side time we are not turning. Oh yeah, so go ahead and work your front post and back post double crochets, and I'm at the end, so you slip stitch, and this is how your work should be looking like. Chain 3. So at this point you can make 3 rows, and I've already made 1. So now row 2, wherever you see front post, you put front post. Wherever you see back post, you put back post. How you see is a front post is the front post are protruding, is like the ones looking at you, and then the back post is hidden behind. So make your 3 rows and you are done. So this is the complete work. I went ahead and did my 3 rows and attached a long strand with tassels. You can, that is optional, and that is how the leg, I want to leave it like this. So this is the work. Until we meet next week, stay positive and enjoy the rest of our videos. If you haven't checked them out, bye bye.